got 6 kids, ages from 8 all the way up to 18.
I have myself, my wife, I have 4 grandkids, and my daughter.
I'm on a fixed income, disabled vet.
I've been out here struggling. I've been working my whole life, even before I could even file a W-2.
So the food is what we need. And it's starting to get low again, and the girls are getting hungry.
I'm on a fixed income, and so I wouldn't know who else to turn to.
The food helps, right? So everything, the prices is going up and all like that. And so I can go to Gleaners and then help me with the vegetables, the meats and stuff like that. That helps when you ain't got nothing but so much of coming in every year.
Coming to Gleaners today, it really helps with my budget because we're running out of everything.
It's been a little rough the last few months. So whatever anybody can do, it's greatly appreciated.
Here at Gleaners, as around the country, we're seeing a dramatic increase in the need of our neighbors. We're twice where we were before the pandemic. We're 50% higher than we were just the beginning of this year, and we're at 85% of the levels during the pandemic itself. That's not surprising in some ways, given the challenges that are happening across the country with inflation, pressures on working families, and there's a direct correlation between pandemic-era relief programs like the child tax credit rolling off and the needs of our families escalating. Nationally, hunger is a huge problem. At 10.2% of Americans are food insecure. In Indiana, it's even worse. We're north of 13%. And it's even higher in communities of color, among Hispanic neighbors, rural neighbors, military families, and even veterans themselves. A really exciting benchmark of this last fiscal year was the announcement of our comprehensive campaign, $25 million to not only feed the hungry, but to tackle the underlying causes of hunger. We're already $18 million toward that goal, which is very exciting, but it's always the hardest to raise the money toward the end, and so we'll be relying on our generous donors to close that campaign in a successful way.
Our Neighbor Engagement Initiative is an initiative that's fairly new, and it was really born out of some research work that was done out of a project called The Voice of Our Neighbor. We were able to talk to real neighbors, I like to say Joe and Jane Hoosier, about 800 total from 19 different counties. Of those neighbors who participated in the survey, 50% rated their health as either fair or poor. We want to look at how we can leverage partnerships in the community to help serve the neighbor. So maybe I need help with accessing low-cost prescription meds. Maybe I need access to affordable housing. That frees up my income to where I can be able to purchase more food, and hopefully healthy food, for myself and my family. You know, when we think about food insecurity and who that neighbor is, it's any of us. You can lose a job. You can have a reduction in hours. It could be something such as a single health event, a car accident, or an illness, and suddenly you can find yourself in need. We've also learned that many of our neighbors have experienced the cliff effect. They are right at the cusp of being eligible, but due to the income, they just don't have enough money to qualify for that particular program or service.
The health and well-being of our neighbors is a priority for our organization. Internally, we really felt that we needed a kind of a written document that really solidified our commitment to really providing nutritious foods. It does provide a consistent set of guidelines for decision making. Our food strategy team is really, they're looking at all different kinds of products that come to their attention. And the nutrition policy just laid down a groundwork of criteria to look at. And the nutrition policy also was a way for us to identify goals, to measure those, and from year to year, are we making progress when we say we're providing nutritious foods to our neighbors?
Providing nutritious food and not just filling the plates of our neighbors is a huge priority here at Gleaners. In fact, in 2022, we distributed over 16 million pounds of produce throughout our 21 county service area. Thanks to your support, Gleaners has been able to distribute nearly 100 million meals.
In March of this year, we opened our protein repack room. So the protein repack room is a way for us to food safely take bulk protein donations and scale them down and repackage them into household quantities. We're able to run 5 days a week for the last 8 months, producing about 8,000 to 10,000 pounds of protein that we're able to put back into our neighbors' hands. which they normally would not have had access to.
Especially as the new guy here at Gleaners, I think the magic is the efficiency with which we've learned to utilize the scarce resources with which we're entrusted to feed our neighbors in a hyper-efficient way. As we look back at this last year, I think one of the untold stories is that during the pandemic, we served 100 million meals with a lot of wind at our back with national programs, federal government programs, USDA free food, in a much less recognized era of need. We've also, this year, provided the same number of meals without that support.
I thank you guys very much. It's very much appreciated. It is very much.
It helps out tremendously.
I'm grateful.
Thank you. That's all I can say.